Hey guys, it's me, Kyle, from the Panama City Beach Library. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some really cool paper clay crafts that you can do completely at home. You'll need basic ingredients from inside your cupboard and some paper, and mix those together to make some really cool sculptures or toys. But before that, science, because today we're going to talk about the science of recycling. Let's get started. What is recycling? Recycling is the reuse of otherwise waste materials into something useful or fun for everybody. It might not seem like it, but people actually make a whole lot of waste and garbage. The average person produces 4 pounds of garbage per day. This is a textbook. It weighs about a pound. And so you can imagine that you have 4 of these every day that you're throwing into the garbage each day. That is the garbage that you throw out like normal. It's the papers from school, it's the boxes from Amazon, it's the paper and plastic that you use to carry your groceries. All of that contributes to the garbage in the world. And it might not seem like much, but if you take all of that garbage and then all of your siblings' garbage and then all the garbage from everyone in your family and on your street and pile it up somewhere, well, you have a landfill. So a landfill is a hole in the ground, basically, that is full of all of the waste that has not been recycled. And it might seem okay, because if the trash isn't in our rooms or in our homes, then we don't have to worry about it, right? Not really. So landfills are getting bigger and bigger because we don't know anything to do with them. It's just garbage sitting in a hole somewhere. And that land could be used for other amazing things like amusement parks and Best Buys and Chick-fil-A's and libraries, but instead it's full of garbage. So reducing the amount of landfills can lead to a ton of amazing things for us if we just figure out what to do with all of this extra garbage. That's why it's up to each of us to learn to do our share as far as recycling and making good use of the trash and waste that we produce. Why recycle? Number one, the factories responsible for making and manufacturing the goods and services and the Amazon boxes and the toys and the technologies that we all use on a daily basis, all of those factories produce greenhouse gases. And those greenhouse gases are really bad for the environment. They contribute to global warming, they worsen the air quality, and they overall hurt animals and plants like you and me, but also farm animals and pets, the things that we love and need to survive. If we were able to use the same materials over and over again, instead of making the factories make more and more of the same stuff over and over again, then we can reduce the amount of factories that we need and thus reduce the greenhouse gases in the environment. And number two, like I already mentioned, a lot of the chemicals and toxins that we throw into the garbage with our trash, they go to landfills, and those landfills get rained on, and the rain flushes into rivers, lakes, and streams that we use to drink water from and that other animals use to swim through or to drink from, and that's not good for anybody. So how do you and I recycle? Well, to start off, there are plenty of designated places in Panama City that you can use to recycle. Just kind of keep your eyes peeled for green trash bins. I found a couple outside of Publix that is mostly for plastic and paper bags when you come out from the store. Otherwise, you can go online. I think the Bay County government website has a list of locations where it is fine for you to dump recyclable materials off so they can be reused for different projects around the city. Second, you can practice picking up trash in your neighborhood. Like I mentioned, when it rains, all of the trash that doesn't make it to the landfill ends up in water and in bushes. So it'd be helpful if you could take that trash and put it where it belongs. That way we can actually use it to be recycled instead of possibly harming some animal who doesn't know any better. Third, and I didn't really know this, but in Panama City we have something called an incinerator. What happens is that all of the flammable waste that we throw into our garbage cans that is picked up by a dump truck and taken off to the dump, anything that is burnable like paper or old food is thrown into the incinerator, and that heat that it produces is turned into electrical energy. So the lights that we have, the computers that we're using for virtual classes, all of those are partially fueled by the waste product that we throw away in Panama City. Now, I couldn't find anything on the website recently when I searched. I found all of this a couple weeks ago when I looked it up. I'm sure the servers are just down, but give it a few days and really look into it because it's kind of cool. And last is to just make use of the garbage that we already throw out. A lot of the times we throw away things that are perfectly good for other purposes, like take empty bottles, you can use those for science projects. Take old books, because if you look at our YouTube page, tons of librarians in the Northwest Regional Library System have videos about recycling old books and ways of using them to turn them into art or decorations. Paper in general is a really easy thing to recycle, and that's what this class is going to be teaching you how to do. Let's take some old paper, shred it up, cut it up, and mix it with a few things, and we can make us some really cool paper crafts. So let's get started. Yeah, so you'll want to start off with some pieces of waste paper. We have a shredder pile in the library, so I just took some of that. I took 2 cups of the shredded paper, mixed it with 2 cups of water, and began to stir with a fork. It is a lot of stirring, a lot of cutting. Make sure you break down all of the large and major pieces. You'll want to add salt to the mix, because the salt will help absorb some of the water, which we will be shedding off of the mixture shortly. If you wanted help blending, I used an immersion blender. I kind of cheated, but all of this can absolutely be done with a pair of scissors, a fork, and some time if you're patient. Once you're done, take your mixture. I used a strainer over a sink. Just use the strainer to begin shedding some of the water off of your paste mixture. Use that handy dandy fork again if you want, and use that to help squeeze some of the excess water out of the paste mixture. Once it's dried up a little bit, you can absolutely start using your hands. You'll find that using your hands gets a lot of the water off a lot easier. We're trying to go for as dry as we possibly can at this stage. Yeah, so there's a lot of excess water that you can squeeze off with your hands that you can't quite get with just a strainer and a fork. Once you're done, pop it back in your bowl and take them over to the table. So yeah, once you've gotten your dried paper, it doesn't have to be all the way dry, but it should be brittle enough that you can break it up in your fingers. You'll want to measure it out again and then add 1 part flour to 2 parts paper. So I used about a half a cup of paper left over, so I used about a 1/4 cup of flour, and I just mixed that into my dried paper balls using that handy dandy fork again. Just kind of mix them in there. I think I added a little bit of extra hot water just to make sure that everything got really well incorporated together. Mix very thoroughly, make sure everything is well incorporated. Once you've done the majority of the mixing with your fork, you can go back in with your hands and make sure it's not still hot from the hot water, but definitely mix that in with your hands, get in there. It's really messy, but that's part of the fun of doing this experiment. Anybody can do it. And of course, don't forget to have a little fun with it. I got into the whole pizza dough idea with throwing the paper ball around. Once the flour is really well incorporated, you'll start to feel that this is really something moldable that you can get your hands on and squeeze and shape. I made a ball here out of my paper pulp and then squished it down so I can get something that looks sort of like a saucer. And once you're done, you can begin molding. Now, I just decided to make up literally anything that came to mind, and I had a bunch of extra stuff to use. You can absolutely put that in a Ziploc bag, toss it in the refrigerator, make sure it stays cool, because you're working with flour, and if flour gets too warm for too long, it'll start to mold and look really gross. So refrigerate all of your extras, but for what you have, you can go ahead and start molding by hand, just whatever you think you want to make. Make statues, models, toys. This is going to be a little decoration for my desk at the library. So I just used some acrylic paint we had in the back to make this horrifying Pikachu. I also made this little ghost red guy. I think his name is Daryl, and then I made a stool for Daryl to sit on. Thank you guys for watching this little video on recycling. I tried to make this one a little bit more concise, and I hope the project is really cool that you can do at home. It's really kid-friendly, it's really at-home friendly. I made a couple of cool sculptures that I'm sure you've seen in the video already. So I really appreciate you guys watching. If you'd like to learn more about the art of recycling or making paper clay, you can easily YouTube the same YouTube video that I did to learn how to do paper clay, or you can check out some books from the local library. Please do place them on hold, and we'd be happy to take them to your car or deliver them to you in person at the Panama City Beach Library. I hope you guys learned a little bit about the nature of recycling. If you want to learn more, definitely check out some of the videos that we have on the library YouTube page. There's plenty done as far as recycling and using old books and papers again, so please give those a watch. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next one.